Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Majid bin Sultan al-Qassimi, and I only shortly realized this morning I must be, from our year, the student furthest away from home. For those of you who do know me, I go by many names. Majid, sometimes pronounced Majid, Magic, somebody called me Aladdin, there's Hey You, Nadu, and my favorite must be Dr. Stretz. I once turned to me in a practical, looked me right in the eye and said, "What's the answer? Fabio."
I remember that.
I would like to thank everyone attending, and I'm sorry I could not reach those of our class and everybody else who are home or away today. I'd like to thank the university as a whole for all the opportunity given to us to study here and for having the patience to deal with so many different kinds of people in our year. I'd like to thank those that inspired us, motivated us, guided us on what I only know as a long, hard road to a profession not many understand. I would also like to thank those who took the time to teach and help us learn, and even those who made the studying here just a little bit harder, because in truth, the real world can be that kind of place. The school here is one of honored tradition with a deep history that can be found both in the buildings and the many pictures. Even the professors are full of stories in the school's history, many times deviating and telling stories about the country, the people, and the experiences before our time. I'm proud to have been part of this history, and as time moves on, to someday be found in a picture on a wall somewhere here on campus with students looking, pointing, and laughing. For all the history around us in the university and the city, I know myself to be a person of the future, and so I would like to talk about a lesson we have all learned here about the future. At this school, we learn a lot in classes and practicals about the role of a vet. And with the many times I've heard the question, why on earth do we have to learn this? I would like to share with all of you the answer I have come to believe is the reason. Being a vet, most people conjure up the idea of a person with a lab coat, thermometer in hand, slowly approaching an unsuspecting dog, cat, horse, cow, or sheep, what have you, all in the name of their health. So most people, even up until the 5th year, relish the subjects like surgery and internal medicine, and this is what the final truth of the job is. But allow me to broaden your view. For the cows that provide the many millions in the world their milk in the morning, to the steaks that one has at dinner in the restaurants, to the very keeping of food and making sure that people are safe from the many dangers of modern life. This responsibility lies on the shoulders of all that graduate from vet school. And so as of yet, one cannot separate the many different subjects that we have to do. And they all tie together, hence we need to be taught it all. You may be asking yourself, why on earth am I telling this to the professors, the doctors, and the soon-to-be vets here? Well, the truth is, because sometimes even the best forget. I spoke about the future, and there is a trend or lesson that has been taught to us here, perhaps unknowingly, that was not part of the lecture material or practicals. I would like you to think about what the following things have in common: exam dates, time, shifts, our minds, partners, gloves, and infusion bags. The answer is change. Most of us experience changing one or another, and many don't appreciate having to change an infusion bag at 4 in the morning, but we've all experienced changing exam dates and changing our minds. Change has caught us off guard at least once. And I've seen enough change in my life to know one thing: change happens. Whether you plan it or not, the seasons, the time, they all change, and it is a fact you have to accept. We are all experiencing it, professionally, personally, and to all I say this: recognize it, be aware of it, and accept it. For it is those individuals that cannot do this that are left behind, and are left wondering. Technology, knowledge, has been showing us an ever-accelerating trend, and it is believed that we are approaching a new revolution. Genetics, electronics, robotics, our understanding of the universe as a whole. It's all in fast forward, and still gaining. Understand that one does not need to always understand why change happens, but sometimes just knowing that there is change is reason enough. However, there is a change that I believe that we can control, one we can use to better ourselves and the world around us. I personally want to make that kind of change. I ask each and every one of you to do the same. Already, many are doing this. The teaching methods here at the university, the examination methods, the research being conducted. The practice of this profession has a direct impact on everyone around you. As a clinician, you heal not only the animals you treat, you also heal the owners. As researchers, you do not only broaden your own knowledge, you share it with the rest of the world. And these things are changes that you may do for the rest of your life. For those of you who do not know where to start, it is simple. Small steps, favors, actions of kindness, and smiling while doing so. Small steps are easy to do with such, and they have the same impact. I want to make a change everywhere I go, and in every way possible. I do not fear defeat because I know I'm doing the right thing. And when you too know this, as I do, it will be like breathing. With that, with what we have learned here in the 5 and then some years, we will be equipped to do many different things. I hope in my own way to change the world, maybe just a little bit, and I hope the same goes for all of you. And I can hear the doubt, I can see the head shaking, this I can't do. For you, I have only this to say. Minden lehetséges, és semmi sem lehetetlen. And for everybody in the English class, everything is possible, and nothing is impossible. Thank you very much.